welcome to this week's edition of the Island Stats Cricket Show, July 14th. Yes, it's a Monday, so we weren't on yesterday, but made sure we came on Monday. I'm your guest host, Juggling J, aka Jason Ford, and I have my other host, Ryan Steve. What's up, Ryan?
What's up, man? You all right or what? How's everything?
Man, a day closer to Eastern County and a day closer to Cup Match, so you know what that means.
Yes, I do. The intensity is increasing. The anxiety levels are increasing. So
I mean, before we get
everybody.
into the games, what you think about the crowds? Because I'm starting, you feel the anxiety in the crowds now, right? Because I feel like everybody's trying to have a say on who's going Connie, and everybody's trying to have a say who's going to try to match up to good cup match. I'm pretty sure you've heard a lot of those conversations already around the field.
Yeah, I mean, I'm working in Hamilton now, and I try to walk through Hamilton, with my head down on my phone and acting like I'm doing something on my phone. But you got people constantly calling out to me, asking me, what's the Georgia's team look like, and who they're gonna pick, and how's things shaping up, and all sorts of, them crutches be coming at me, and the levels are increasing, the flags are out, the offices are decorated, the people are having the office competition, who's got uh, the best decorated office, all that's happening, and that's the spirit of Cup Match. That is what Cup Match, this is the spirit of Cup Match, this is what the people love, you know what I mean? Look forward to. The banter has begun. I haven't seen the memes come out yet, and I'm quite sure they'll be out soon.
Maybe out soon.
Yeah, the next couple of days, I'm quite sure you see them floating around, and everybody be laughing, and there's always fun, there's always good banter. So the fever is definitely starting to ignite, and people's really getting looking forward to the classic, and as well as Connie Cup. I was down there on Saturday. People were setting up their camps while I was watching the game. Yeah, it's that time of year. It's that time of year. You
I
know.
was on another interview today with my other co-host, and it's like, this is tis the season for us, right? Because that's all the wheels are spinning now, and everybody's getting into motion. Like you said, the banter is, like I said, it'll be starting this week, but we'll talk more about what's coming up this week. Let's go recap of what happened over the weekend because a good bit of games and exciting games across the weekend. But let's start off on Saturday. It's the Western County second round. Warwick Wackermans defeated Somerset Bridge by 158 runs. Warwick Wackermans 207. Somerset Bridge all out for 49. Now we'll talk more about that in a minute. Also, the Turkey Barnes Cup, the St. George's Cup match trial between St. David's Cricket Club. They defeated St. George's in a trial match at Lord's, defeated by 4 wickets. St. George's 238, St. David's 242 for 6. So let's start off with that Western County match. I got to drive by there. I had to do some interviews up at Somerset. You can see the crowds are definitely getting big up at Western County, and you see the excitement watching the game. But Warwick Workmans, with the likes of Malachi and Luke again, it seems like they're really stating a case for this year for the season.
Yeah, I mean Malachi. He's hit a rich vein of form. I mean his last 4 or 5, maybe 6 innings is I think, if I'm not mistaken, all been over 50 odd runs. He got 83 in the Western Connies. Luke, had 23. They had a good opening stand partnership of 50 odd runs. And then, Malachi had a second big partnership of 100, just under 100 runs. And I would believe that would have been tremendous. So, Malachi is really in a rich vein of form right now. He's open to batting. And I mean, so he's doing a good job at the top of the order. He's seeing that ball, new ball, and he's navigating. He's always played with a straight bat, and that's really what's helping him out. He's learned that technique from an early age. So now, as he's gotten older, it just comes like second nature to him. So he's just stroking the ball around, putting away the bare balls. He's got a cricketing brain on him. He's a very intelligent cricketer. He's been around for quite a long time. So he understands what needs to be done to build an innings. And the top 3 batsmen basically for Warwick got all scores of over got all double figures, and also Dubai Zarai, and C. Burgess, but it wasn't too many other batsmen that really chipped in without too much. But they posted a fairly decent total of 207. That was a fairly decent total You know.
Yeah, the only one that stood under the bowling department for Summers Bridge was Alan Douglas, gas player, with 4 for 29 after his 10 overs. Kamal picking up an early wicket, picking up a wicket, and also Sean Riley. And Callum McIntosh to the youngster, 3 for 40.
Yeah, I mean, with that said, Bridge, it's kind of sad to see Bridge lose that trophy. To be quite honest with you, I'm kind of happy to see the guys, and I have to take my hat off to them. The guys like Sean Riley, and these guys, Donnie Charles,
Donnie,
these guys still out there playing, and like I said, these guys are in and around my age and slightly older, but they're taking care of themselves and doing what they gotta do. Alan Douglas, as he does year in and year out, comes around close to cup match. He starts picking up wickets. He starts making a whole lot of runs, and he puts his name in the hat, and he makes himself known that he's still very capable of producing the results that's needed. So it's unfortunately they didn't really get nobody really got off to him. Nobody got double figures. 49 all out after 21 overs. So Jones, he was the pick of the building. He had an all-round performance. He got 4 wickets. 3 wickets. Yeah, he had a good day basically. Fulton picking up 1 and Haran picking up a couple of wickets. So those wickets were shared amongst them, and Stafford Deal, the warlord, Mr. Work himself. Mr. Workman himself, Mr. Deal, picking up a 4-wicket haul. So I'm quite sure he'd have been bragging, about that, and he went back up to the club and sat down and had a Gilbert reflecting on his day's play. So congratulations to Work on that victory.
Well, we actually got to catch a bit of that on the stream, and then one time Luke had was able to dismiss Kamal without scoring, and then Deal, I want to say he got 2 wickets in an over, and those 3 wickets basically that took care of Bridge. They worked up on top, and that was so. Then with Dougie coming, and Dougie went early. Donnie coming, which is Donnie tried to hang around a bit, but once again, the wicket was actually looked like it was playing a bit low up there, surprisingly enough. But like I said, I didn't get to see the whole match, so I can't give you a real good reading on how the wicket played for the rest of the day, though. Now let's go to the trial match. And if anybody was to look at the scorecard of the team or the team lineups of the 2 teams for the Turkey Barns with St. George's and St. David's, it's a lot of St. George's players playing over for St. David's and the Turkey Barns. But obviously, it's for the 2 teams. They're using these games as, once again, trial to get ready for not only Eastern County, but also for cup match. So it gives opportunity to players to even play against each other for the competitive side of it. Did you get a chance to see much of the trial match?
Yeah, I was over there for pretty much the whole day. I got over there, I want to say about 11:30. So I got to watch St. George's bat. Nias had a very good knock of 90-odd runs. Watching his innings, he came to the wicket. It was easy for him. I'm going to be straight up and honest. It was very easy for him, not taking away anything from his knock. But he strolled to the wicket. The field was, players on the boundary from ball 1. So he was just able to easily nurture on and, get the 1s and 2s. And he came in just before lunch. I want to say about a half an hour or so before lunch, 45 minutes or something like that before lunch. And instead of the St. David's captain, which I was very surprised of, they didn't really attack him. I mean, you got him coming to, here's the key batsman, Nias is one of the key batsmen in Bermuda. He's in the top 4. He's in some good form, in the top 4 for averages. So I would have thought that they would have applied a bit more pressure once he came to the wicket, man more in attacking positions, bringing the field in. Was just before lunch. Would have tried to get that wicket for lunch, but the field was pretty much scattered around a bit, and he just nursed around, took the lunch break.
Looks like Ryan's froze up a bit. I hope he can just reboot and come back. Yeah, one of the things that I was trying to look at a lot of not only games but timing. It looks like he's about to come back on. But the time that these players are starting to spend at the wicket, We know there's going to be a transition of what we call white ball into red ball, especially with Eastern County and Cup match coming up. But you know what? Before I get into that conversation, let's go. Hey, his back. You know what? Let's go to a commercial break, and we'll come right back with more of the Island Stats Cricket Show.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, apologies about that.
No problem,
Um,
buddy.
yeah, like I said, I mean, it was just easy for him to just nest around and just milk the burden. And once he got on top of the burden after the lunch break, he just smashed the ball to all corners of the field. And with that said, I mean, both teams, St. George's and St. David's, are both chasing a trophy. St. David's is chasing the Connie Cup. St. George's are chasing the Cup Match trophy. So, you would think that St. David's will learn to attack more, so they know how to, because they got to get wickets. They got to, even though, yeah, you have overs in the County Cup, but you still want to restrict the team and possibly burn them out as less as you possibly can. So I was a bit surprised at some of the field placing. For what I saw, at one stage it was a 8-1 field. Cricket's changed a lot from when I was playing. Things are done a bit more unorthodox, and not to say it's right or wrong, but one or two of us was like an 8-1 field, and then it was a 7-2 field. They didn't have no man behind the wicket on square or flying leg, so it kind of made it harder for the bowler to really attack the stumps to even bring in the LBW or the getting a batsman bowled. So I was a bit confused with ability field placing. But with that said, I mean, St. George's capitalized on it. Nance, like I said, had a very good innings and took advantage of made most of his opportunity that he had to bat.
Well, I was just mentioning something just now before you went off, and I'm thinking that this could be one of the things also that these trial matches also opportunity to work on something in your game, right? I was just saying that this week in particular, I will see what batsman was able to spend some time out there, spend more than an hour, spend more than 2 hours out there, just to see, because we know it's getting warm out there. We know once you get tired, the hair gets tired, it's over, right? So I just want to see if some guys may be saying, you know what, let me stick around out here. Let me just see if I stay long enough, I'll get my runs. But in saying that, also on the bowling side, right, where there might be some tactics to say, look, I'm just going to give you, like I said, give you an 8-1 feel and let me see what you do with it, right? I don't know if this is some of the information that's coming from the coaching staff, but I'm just wondering, these trials, these is the time to actually try stuff. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, cricket's playing a little different from when I was playing. Was it a tactic that the coach said, let's try this, let's see what happens, let's pack the offside field and maybe try to get the bowlers to bowl wider or stump and force them to make a shot. I don't know. I mean, it would be interesting to hear the conversation that was there, and I'm not taking it away from the captain or anything, but I thought the field placing at times was a bit interesting for what they was trying to do. In terms of spending wicket times at the wicket, the opening partnership of St. Davis was very impressive. And that was between Anzari, Painter, and the young boys, Scotland. I was very impressed with the approach that they took towards the innings because they got in, they saw off the shine off the ball, as the old school term sees shine off the ball, and they rotated the strike nicely. They had a very good understanding. They ran hard between the wickets. The boy Scotty played some really good shots. You know what I mean? It was very impressive. Like I spoke about him on the last show. You don't see too many batsmen playing cover drives, and he played some nice, exquisite cover drives that was pleasing for the eye. But with that said, again, I feel that the captain could have been a bit more attacking. And this is not trying to criticize the captains in no way or shape or form, but I felt that, at times the captains could have been a bit more attacking because the young boy McGowan, he's a big, strong lad, and he bowled extremely well. He bowled with a lot of pace. and it was quite pleasing to see. He ran in and Bill was putting the balls in good areas, for St. George's. And I felt that maybe once or twice, if he would have had a player in more an extra slip in, he might have made early practice to claim early wickets, But they went with a slip and a gully rather than two slips and a gully early in the match, and I saw an opportunity that if a second slip was in his opening spell, I think it would have been a sitter for a second slip. But again, being more attacking would have been a better option from my point of view, from what I see. And again, like you spoke of, what was the instruction? It could have been an instruction coming from the coach. Let's look to do this. Let's look to do that. I can't really say at this stage, but it was impressive to see the two young opening batsmen. And also, then again, Jonte Smith coming in at number 3. He's been in some really terrific form. He's really stroking the ball around nicely, clearing the fences, and running hard between the wicket. With Jonte, I have to take my hat off to Jonte. And why I say that, because Jonte is a special type of player. And what I mean by that, Jonte he could be very attacking, he could be a power hitter, and he could also run between the wicket. And you don't really get too many cricketers in Bermuda of that, with that skill. You got power hitters, you got some guys who can run hard between the wicket. Jonte could do a bit of both. And I believe that comes from his knowledge of the game. His father, Clay Smith, I'm quite sure they've had plenty of talks and conversations. You know what I mean? So, he brings a special dynamic that a lot of batsmen don't bring to the game. And so that number 3 position, that first wicket down position, really suits him well. He really brings something special to the batting lineup that a lot of guys don't really bring. So, he came in, he got a 70-odd, and, he batted really well. He put his team in a winning position. So, yeah, kudos to him, and well done to St. David's on retaining the Turkey Bonds trophy.
Also good to see Brian Hall back out there, 17 not out, but also Berlin, 17 overs. And I think that's something coming off that injury. I did notice that he did not play yesterday, his best start. So I'm only hoping that he didn't re-aggravate his injury, his knee injury. But that's something to look forward to going forward.
Yeah, I mean, Brian Hall, last couple of weeks, he's had a few wickets. He's done good for himself. And he didn't bowl bad, at times again. And one thing I want to mention, sometimes you can't always put it on the captain. Sometimes you have to put it on the bowlers because, at times, Brian was coming around the wicket and, the field placement was a bit questionable. He was coming around the wicket. He had no square leg and no man backwards of square. And the batsman was able to score easy runs. So again, that's building pressure. Like, what is the objective of the build? What are you trying to do? Yes, we know you're trying to get them out, but how are you trying to get them out? You know what I mean? And these things that both teams, like I said, they're both chasing a trophy. Like, so how are you guys going to get wickets? How are you going to set your batsmen up? When do you attack? When do you just look to defend? Understanding and being able to read the game. Sometimes the builder has to also help out the captain. Yes, the captain should be able to see everything, but the builder has to also work with the captain to have that understanding of what they're trying to accomplish. But, he did build okay. It wasn't bad at all. So, I'm not sure why he didn't play yesterday. We have to do some research on that. And hopefully it isn't an injury that Captain Mother yesterday has played.
All right, so Ron, I need you to just sit still for half a minute. We're going to take a commercial break, and we'll come back with yesterday's game in the Premier Division and the First Division match from yesterday. We'll be right back.
Better Than Bouillon is an oft-featured organic food producer who believe that great recipes begin with great ingredients. This judiciously named brand is aimed directly at the primary stages of meal preparation in the kitchen, replacing traditional bouillon cubes and the like with bases made from organically produced meat and vegetables, resulting in a higher level of purity and a more robust flavor. This month we're featuring Better Than Bouillon organic bases, made with roasted beef or chicken or seasoned vegetables. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
How you doing? It's Coach Bascom here. Listen, I just want to introduce, to let you know that, guess what? Oh yeah, I've been endorsing Salt. Now, you know what this is for, right? Yep. Smelly shoes. You know, those days that you're coming back from training, sneakers. Yep, you start, you know, you're sitting them in your house, you got them in your room, and you got them in your closet, and you know, you're getting that smell come through. Well, this is what it's for. Excited about it, excited to promote because I believe it, because I know when I was playing outdoors especially, this is definitely what I needed. Hey, even look at the packaging. Very, very professional company, done on so much work, yeah, with the material, with the bag. Listen, I'm excited about it. Glad to be a partner with them. Glad to be endorsing this product, yeah. And here we go. Get your bag.
And welcome back. Well, let's run down the scores of yesterday, and before we get into the actual matches. But St. George's defeated Willicox by 264 runs. St. George's 374 for the loss of 5. Willicox 110 all out. Somerset Cricket Club defeated Cleveland County by 46 runs. In the first division, Devonshire Recreation, they posted 93 runs all out, and Warwick was defeated them by 10 wickets, 97 without loss. Let's talk about that first division match. Well, we can probably almost figure out who's the culprits here for Warwick for making runs. They've been making runs, seems like, for every game. But just in the fact that they took a hold of, and Luke Horan got 3 wickets, along with Boyle Simons got 5 wickets. Once again, the youngsters are producing up at Warwick to dismiss Devonshire Rec for 93 runs.
I mean, this young boy, Luke, man, he's only 15 years old, man. You know, this is a special talent. Like, you know, he's really a talented young man. You know, he's obviously a die-hard cricket lover. He scored a little 50-odd yesterday, so, you know, he scored 100 a couple of weeks ago. So this guy's doing it at a young age, you know, and you know, people could say what they want. Yeah, it's Devonshire Rec. Yeah, it's this team, it's First Division. But the matter of the issue is his doing it. He's doing it at that age. And if he didn't do it, we'd be like, well, there's no hope for the cricketers. But his doing it at that age and his really demonstrating a skill level that you don't really see too often. You know, players like him come around once every blue moon. You know, you talk about the Neil Gibbons who played a cup match at 16 years old, and maybe a few days, and 1 or 2 others. But this young man is really showing what he's all about, what he's made of, and you know, you really have to take your hat off to this young man, and hopefully, you know, the future definitely looks bright for him. You know, hopefully he sticks to the wicket and, you know, continues to make the runs. He's burning well with his little off spin. You know, he's a die-hard cricket lover. You know, he's got a positive attitude. You know, so, you know, and he has no choice because as principal at Warwick Academy, you know, he has no choice. But, you know, he's got a good head on his shoulders. Got a young cricketing brain, and, you know, I'm quite sure, you know, Warwick will be definitely building a team around him. They're looking for promotion. They should be promoted. So it'll be interesting what he brings to the Premier League next year.
Yeah, I mean, how many players will bet with Malachi and actually dominate the partnership, right?
Yeah.
He had 3 sixes and 9 fours in his knockout, 64 not out. Well, Malachi had 24 not out and just supported him, you know, and that's something where it's basically double the strike rate of Malachi Jones, and who you don't see that often now, do you?
I mean, like with the good thing about that, and I'm quite sure with him, they built a partnership together, and Malachi will probably be encouraging him every step of the way, to say like, hey, look to do this, look to do that, keep your head, So that's very encouraging to see, to be quite honest with you. And I would go out on a limb to think that Malachi will be out encouraging this youngster and guiding him along, at the top of the order.
Let's go up there all the way up in Somerset. I believe it probably would have been the game of the day. Somerset Cricket Club versus Cleveland County. Somerset Cricket Club knocking up 282 for 8. Once again, they're actually getting some runs. They're averaging the last couple of weeks. They've been averaging a good bit of runs up in Somerset. Kamal Evrock, high score 109 for Somerset. The other players are Dominic Sabir chipped in 30, Al-J Richardson 24, Isaiah Richardson 31, Janoy B. Wilson 23. The main wicket takers for Cleveland, McGowan 2 for 49, Douglas 2 for 60, bit expensive, and Trey Gibbons 2 for 33.
Somerset, Kamal Lavrock is going back to where he started the season off before he went on to loan. So this was a good score for him at at Somerset Cricket Club. I mean, batting in the middle of the order, 109. 2 weeks before cup match, so his confidence would be sky high right now, especially on the cup match. The cup match playing wicket. So that's good for him, and Somerset will be happy to see that. So, the boy Sabir, continues to do well with the bat as well. He got a little 30, he got started. LJ, got a good knock as well. So, that was good for Somerset. McGowan, again, nice to see him, got a couple of wickets made in there as well. So, I'm curious, if he ran in or not. I'm quite sure he did. But it's also good to see that he built the turnovers that he was allowed to build. So, that's showing a bit of fitness as well. You know what I mean? So that's good to see. He's a strong lad, So, hopefully he's in, you never know what could happen on the of the night of selection. He might be a surprise pick to 1 or 2. I don't know at this stage, but it's nice to see that he got a couple of early wickets and put Somerset under a little bit of pressure. Getting the young boy Proctor, build. Court and build. So that's interesting to see.
Yeah, with Kamal, 71 balls, 17 fours, and 5 sixes. So he was definitely striking the ball well, especially the day before not making any. So I think obviously, like you said, getting that confidence batting on that wicket up in Somerset, and then Cleveland. Ooh. There was a good partnership between Dion Stubble and Alan Douglas. Dion Stubble getting out on 61, Alan Douglas 92. But I've been meaning to hit him up all day. The old man himself. And I say the old man himself, Mr. Cup Match. Wasn't in the team last week, but it comes out this week and picks up 6 wickets. None other than Janara Tucker.
Yeah, Mr. Cup Match himself is making a return or what? Yeah, I mean, Gennaro, one thing about Gennaro, man, he takes care of himself, man. He exercises, eats right, does what it's got to do, and, it's still good. It's still good. It's amazing. You know what I mean? 6 wickets, 10 overs, well done to him. Mr. Stubble, Mr. Reliable, like I said last week, continues with the bet. It's that time of year where his engine's starting to warm right up. You know what I mean? He's got a big game coming up this weekend. Cleveland will be looking to dethrone Bayless Bay of the trophy. So, his playing on Saturday, then he probably turn around and play on Sunday, getting his mind ready for the Classic. So, he, again, it's that time of year where he just starts. Every time you look, his name's amongst the runs for Cleveland. And like I said earlier, Alan Douglas, whether it be bat or the ball, he scored a little 92 runs. So, he's looking to put his name in the hat and make sure that his name isn't forgotten. And it looks like they had a big 100-odd run partnership, 130-odd run partnership. So, it was unfortunately that they didn't come up trumps in the end. But, these are players that, other than Gennaro, who's retired, but, a lot of the cup match players are starting to shine right now. You want to, people's trying to pick their team, and, cup match players, potential cup match players are doing what they have to do. They're standing out amongst the rest.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm also even looking at, like I said, for that partnership that Cleveland is going to need that partnership to wrestle the cup away from Bailey's Bay if they want to have a chance. So that partnership would have been well, just those two working together in the middle, leading to this week's Eastern County match.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go on now to the next match, and let's go down to St. George's. And I believe it was at St. George's. Was it? Yeah, I believe it was at St. George's. St. George's Cricket Club playing Willicott. St. George's 374 for 5. Mercy. Willicott fall out for 110. I don't know. I would have took my ball and hit him. I ain't gonna lie. Man, that's hot. And for some reason, it becomes a lot hotter.
I mean, yeah.
Lazare Painter, 31. Aronde Bascom, he followed up his 90-yard last week with 86 this week. So, man, some of these guys are definitely going to give these selectors a headache down there because they'll be making runs all year. Jonte Smith, another knockoff, just come short of 50, 49, and they be told by the Knights earlier. A Knights with 90. It's interesting because going into the weekend, I just took a look at the runs, and Aronde was leading Jonte by 1 run, 344 to 343. So there's probably even some bragging rights right down going on amongst the players down there who's going to get to 500 the quickest.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you look at these stats, the top 4 batsmen were all St. George's batsmen: Aronde, Jonte, Anais, and Azari, some order like that. Followed by Stovall and the rest. But, I mean, like you just said, Jason, man, right now, St. George's, it's been a long time coming, have finally got some batsmen who was in some form going into cup match. And they have an abundance of players that are in fine form at this moment, which is a good headache. For the selectors. And a lot of it's going to boil down to what are you particularly looking for in the player? Because if everybody's on form, everybody's producing, you're going to have to really critique in what you're looking for when that team's picked. How does that person do against this Berlin attack? And things like that are going to come into play now, because, like I said, it's way too many players in form for St. George's. And that's good. But it's the Berlin that's going to have to win us the cup. I mean, I'm not going to get too much into the cup match thing right now. I'm going to really focus on St. George's and Willicott. And, and Zari continues again with his form. Aronde, he's had a good season so far. Jonte again, Anais, another 90, 2 days in a row, 180 runs over the weekend. So he's had a very good weekend. And, the rest, you had Abdul, he came in for 45. I mean, St. George's right now, if you look at the average score for the season, it has to be about 300, 310, 315 runs. Every week they're averaging, they're getting over, or if not, close to 300 runs. And I mean, St. George's have really done well with the batting this year. They got a batting coach. Clay was a very good batsman in his day, so I'm quite sure he's basically taught him, the keys to his success, and it's probably filtered right through the team. It has to have, and with his brother Randall assisting him, So St. George's have done really well with the bet. In terms of Willicott and the Berlin, I mean, the Berlins went for quite a few runs. It's they only lost 5 wickets, so it's not much you can really say. You had the boy Brodgers 2 wickets, Caesar 1, Bascom none, James 1. It was just 1 wicket for each bowler, but Steelers is just on a whole nother level in terms of like the batting right now, man. They really had a good season with the bat. A lot of the batsmen have carried their bats and done well for St. George's.
Well, I think you mentioned a lot about the bowling, but like I said, the focus will be on the bowlers. St. George's bowlers. Zico picking up 2, Shakai Darrell picking up 2, Kavan Fabler picking up 3, Salam picking up 3, and a lot of folks have been asked about Salam, but he will not even be able to be eligible for Cup match. So we could just kill that right there. Keep it.
Yeah.
Kill that right there. So. And then I believe it's a 3-year residency. I believe it is. Don't quote me on it, but I believe it's a 3-year residency for him to qualify. So, but in saying that, you mentioned the bats being on form, but the bowling, I think that's the one that's going to have to start. The focus is going to start shifting on what bowlers or what all-rounders too that St. George will be able to pick up in the next few weeks, because between this and next week, then it's your final trial match, and that's going to be something that whatever the coach plan is going to be, how to attack Somerset, and they're going to have options now, right? You've got options with guys who have multiple skills, and that's hopefully these guys they show their worth in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the bowlers right now the bowling department is key to winning the cup back. We got to get Somerset. We need 20 wickets to stand a chance. Somerset, I very much doubt they're going to declare. I haven't known them to declare forever. So, St. George's got to get 20 wickets, and we got to figure out how, you can get 20 wickets. So, bowlers right now, if you're looking to make claim a spot in cup match, you got to put your hand up. You got to continuously get wickets. It's important the next 2 weeks, that you do what you got to do, and put your name in the hat.
And let's go to that final game. St. David's defeating Western Stars by 107 runs. St. David's posted 300 runs. Western Stars replying with 194. St. David's. See, Akira went cheap after scoring 90 odd last week. No, this get on 90 odd.
90 odd last week, 96.
Scotland 24, OJ 28. Good to see OJ back, because I know he had a little
hand injury. Yeah.
Hand injury. Cardo 32, Dean Stevens 38, and then this man, Tarek Bregman 78. Now, and I was glad to hear, because I believe it's his auntie, Isaiah O'Brien, 48, able to get these guys up to 300 runs, man. I went straight to who was bowling for Western Stars, and I said that because I wanted to see once again if Brian Hall was even in the team after bowling 17 overs, and he did not bowl yesterday. Kevin Hurdle, 2 for 46. Trey Mendes, 3 for 69. And everybody else got a pick. Jason Anderson bowling, Justin Robinson. So when I see Justin's name, I know that Justin's just coming up to help out the team now. So that's my man, Justin. But I
I mean, I don't see the young boy PJ. He didn't play. Don't look like it. I mean, St. David's. You're going to talk about the batting first. Derek Bregman. This guy, man. I said this years ago when I was coaching St. George's. This guy is a dangerous type of batsman. Like, he's very quiet how he goes about his game. He's a good cricketer. He's an intelligent. He's a thinker. Carries his spells very respectively on and off the field. For years, Derek's been amongst the wickets and runs. There's not a player that people talk about much. But honestly, if you look at his stats, he's always there and abouts. But he's just like, I almost want to say he's underrated, but I don't want to say he's underrated. He's just a person that really, you always hear about Dion Stubbles and Alan Douglas. I'm just throwing these names out. And But you never really heard much about Dak. But if you look at his stats, year in and year out, the durable man, with the bat and the ball. And now his captain Austin Davids is leading by example. Like I'm quite sure he might be, I don't know, don't quote me on this, might be kicking himself and wishing he would have, played Connie Cup for St. Davids rather than Bears Bay. I don't know what the rules is if he could still play for Bears.
Oh man, they're not gonna do it. They're not gonna. Come on now.
Yeah, those rules are written in stone.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen, right? Come on, right?
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I mean, like,
Davis allows it to go play for me. That's
very true, very true. But I mean, like,
you have to go as a guest player. So
yeah. I mean, he better go rent a house or something, rent an apartment or something up there in his base. Something I don't know. But listen, man, this guy here is a bully, man. I have to give this guy his props. I mean, he is a tough cookie. You know what I mean? And his leading by example. And again, amongst the runs, he scored 100 a week or two ago. Again, a Somerset player, finding form at the right time of the year. So well done to him. Young Isaiah, under 19 player, co-cup match player. Nice to see that. I also like this youngster as well. He's coming along good. The other day I watched him. He ran in. It was nice to see that he was running in Berlin. So his game's really coming along. And again, he comes from George O'Brien's his uncle. So I'm quite sure he talks to him a lot. I would encourage him and teaches him a thing or two. So I'm quite sure. I can promise you that this young boy Isaiah has a very good a future ahead of him. If he stays focused.
I would just go back. You mentioned something about Derek Bringham being underrated. I just want to add this. I believe to the fans, to the public who don't really, who's on the outside looking in, they might believe it's underrated. But I can promise you, most of the players who play against him, they don't think it's underrated.
No, they don't. He's like a silent assassin. Like seriously, he's like a silent assassin. He just honestly just goes about his business. It's just like quietly goes about his business. And next thing you know, like, he's got that. He's done this. He's done that. It's amazing. And he's a 3-point man. He's a 4-point man. Bat, bull, captain, lead by example. He's really got it going on, man. It's like, wow.
I tell you, he reminds me a little bit of, and I say a little bit, and I might get licks for this, right? My good friend. But Hassan Dorn.
Hussey?
And I tell you, because of the temperament, you said, most guys, most batsmen, when they go up and face people like Hassan, man, I'm going to take a hurl of you. I'm going to take a hurl of you. Within about 3 or 5 minutes, you're walking back to the pavilion. Or for some, they say, I should hit this ball somewhere out. But 9 times 10, Hassan was always top 2, top 3, top 4 wicket takers in the league.
Yep. Them guys, it's both similar type bowlers, left arm bowlers. And they both build in the same style in terms of like arm balls, not much turn, but they can like put a ball on a dime, man. And they know how to set the field. This is key. They know how to set the field to the bowling. And that's why they've been successful. Hussey, I agree. Hussey was always amongst the averages in his playing day. And this young man is doing the exact same thing. He might have, learned a thing or two from Mr. Dorm in his playing day.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. I totally agree.
Going into the weekend, he was 9 wickets above Zico Burgess. He was on 28 wickets for the season. So just add some more on top of that. So he might even be pushed.
I mean, he's what, 33 now?
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. Hopefully if it doesn't rain, this guy could end up about easy 40 wickets, man. Easy 40 wickets for the season. If it don't rain, no games got rained out. Because I believe it's 2 more league games left. I could be wrong.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, he can have an easy 40 wickets. It's just amazing. So.
On the other side, interesting enough, like I said, just looking at that match, interesting, I mean, pulled it up too. But when you look at that St. David's run, it's going to be interesting because that one slip up actually cost them the league, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they lost twice. Sabres lost twice. I believe they lost to us.
Yeah, lost twice.
Yeah, they lost to Somerset as well. So, St. Davis will still be hoping that St. George's lose. But, you know, yeah, it's interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Well, look, we're gonna take another break, and we'll come back with more of the Island Stats Cricket Show.
Better Than Bouillon is an oft-featured organic food producer who believed that great recipes begin with great ingredients. This judiciously named brand is aimed directly at the primary stages of meal preparation in the kitchen, replacing traditional bouillon cubes and the like with bases made from organically produced meat and vegetables, resulting in a higher level of purity and a more robust flavor. This month we're featuring Better Than Bouillon organic bases, made with roasted beef or chicken or seasoned vegetables. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
How you doing? It's Coach Bascom here. Listen, I just want to introduce, to let you know that, guess what? Oh yeah, I've been endorsing Salt. Now, you know what this is for, right? Yep. Smelly shoes. You know, those days that you're coming back from training, sneakers. Yep, you stop. You're sitting them in your house, you got them in your room, and you got them in your closet, and you're getting that smell come through. Well, this is what it's for. Excited about it, excited to promote because I believe in it, because I know when I was playing outdoors especially, this is definitely what I needed. Hey, even look at the packaging. Very, very professional company, done on so much work, yeah, with the material, with the bag. Listen, I'm excited about it. Glad to be a partner with them. Glad to be endorsing this product, yeah. And here we go. Get your bag.
Putting down the weapons.
You seeing this?
And welcome back to the Island Stats Cricket Show here on Island Stats. Yours truly, Jason Ford, along with Ryan Steed. Man, now this is gonna be a hard one for this week. I try to go over some of these outstanding performers. Did you have an idea who was gonna pick for outstanding performer this week, buddy? Because it was a battle last week. I mean, we could start over with Kamal's Lavrock's 109.
Mm-hmm. 107, 109, something like that.
But he didn't take any wickets in that match. Anybody else in that match? Alan Douglas 92. Alan Douglas 92, and he picked up 2 wickets, 2 for 60. Deion Stubble 61. He had 1 for 34. So I'll throw that at you. We can slide over to the St. George's match against Willicots. And we know that Runday, more runs again, 86. Jonte, 48. O'Neill, 90. Nobody with Willicots with the ball per se. And let me see. Zico 2, nothing. Kavan 3. So that doesn't really ring out any numbers to me right there. Who else will get? What other game we're missing here?
We talk about the Flatton Rangers game.
Oh, right. We didn't get to. You know what? Let's quickly talk about that. Let me see if I can pull that up. I don't have that here. Let me just pull that up very quickly. Yeah. because
I
those guys
watched.
have to be
Yeah,
looking. Those guys will be looking, especially flats, to even though they are playing the last round of Eastern County, but it's a long season, so you got to get there, right? So flats defeated Southampton Rangers by 49 runs. Flats posted 253 for 5. Johan Now scored 50. Keegan Jones, the youngster, 65 runs. Reggie Baker, the veteran, not out on 43. Another veteran, Kaiwan Franks, 49. Top voters for Southampton Rangers, Daley Richardson, 2 for 52. Look like Mackay Jacobs, 2 for 58. And Southampton Rangers in reply, 204 for 10. Batsman Nakari Smith opened up with 32. Daley Richardson, 40. Looks like Nyasha, okay.
Tom
Maweo.
Christopher.
Yep, there you go. 35. I guess somebody would tell us who pronounces his name. And then in the bowling department, Shane Robinson, 3 for 31. Keegan Jones, 3 for 43. So Keegan had a good Sunday with 3 wickets, along with how many runs did I say he made? 65.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I watched that game. Yeah, I watched the Flats innings yesterday. Very impressive, the young boy Keegan. They've been talking about him. Well, the cricket people, the cricket fraternity, have been talking about him for a little while. He batted really well yesterday. Took his time, got his 50. Once he got his 50, he tried to accelerate the score, push the score along. He got out just after the water break. He probably been kicking himself a bit, rather than settling back in and pushing on. But he batted really well for his age. He skipped on the wicket, played a few shots over the top, cleared defense. So that was encouraging to see. The South African, I believe he is. I'm hoping I got his nationality correct. That open batted for Flats, he batted really well too. I mean, he looked real good, to be quite honest with you. So it was a good knock. Like you said, the 2 veterans, the elder statesmen. They batted well. They shared their seniority. They preferred to clear the boundary rather than run between the wicket. But you would expect that. You know what I mean? It's all good. But they batted well. Rangers is a small field, so they took advantage of it. With Rangers, to be honest with you, Rangers should be all right in about 3 or 4 years. And I say that if the players stick together, because they do have some young players that's coming through. They just need to stick together. I was impressed with the wicketkeeper for Rangers, the young boy Smith. He done a pretty decent job. He probably he could use some work. Cream Tucker played yesterday, so I'm quite sure he could work with him and teach him how to collect more down the leg side, get his feet moving a little better. Yinde Bascom, he's playing up there now. So it's nice to see him back out there playing. He had a little shoulder injury that prevented him from really playing much. He wasn't really able to build, but he built a bit of spin. And, he adds something to the team as well, because Allende could bet, very good as well, and, I have to keep an eye on him with the spin building and see how he progresses, and then you got the opening builder, but unfortunately he got injured. I watched him build a couple of years ago, the young boy Lavrock, Dante Lavrock, I believe his name is Dante Brangman, yes.
Yeah.
So I watched him build a couple of years ago. He had a little zip to him. He's a former national squad footballer, so he's an athlete. He takes care of himself, keeps his weight on. Unfortunately, he had that little hamstring, but he's a burler. We talk about burlers, and it's surprising that no cut match teams have just invited him just to try out and have a look at him. It's very surprising because he does have a little bit about him. He has a nice, beautiful run up. But like I said, he pulled up with a little injury, and I'm quite sure next season somebody should probably be, looking to include him in the selection. And maybe I'm not saying he has to get picked for cut match, but have a look at him and see what he's capable of. Rangers has got a they got some players they could build with, and again with Flats, Flats has got the boy Jamal Douglas, no young up and coming burler, and the boy Robertson. He's not a big burler. He could put the ball in the right area, and they got a good coach, Ryan Valberto. He's building something down there. It's got a young team to work with. So it's nice to see a lot of the young players getting more playing time and developing. So they just got to keep at it and just be patient and work hard at the game, do the extras and whatever's needed to make the game better.
We're gonna take our last commercial break, and when we come back, Ryan, it's up to you. I need you to pick the performer of the week. I'm putting all the pressure on you, buddy. We'll be right back. Messages.
I got this.
Okay, look like we're not gonna go. Well, guess what, Ryan? We're back.
Okay, that was a short commercial break. Okay, my performer of the week. I'm going to tell you why I'm picking my performer of the week. My performer of the week was very consistent with his bat. Any criticism I would have of my performer, my player of the week, would be that he didn't get the 3 figures that he deserved. And again, judging off how we did it last week with Jared Richardson, he had a consistent weekend. This is why I picked this gentleman this weekend, because he had a consistent score for the Saturday and the Sunday. And some may say, well, look at the opposition. That's besides the point. He done what he had to do. My performer of the week, my player of the week, will be Onias Bascom. He got 90 on Saturday. He batted well, a skipper's knock. He got 90 again on Sunday against Willicots. Again, a skipper's knock. So that will be my player of the week. Yes, Kamal Everett scored 100, but on Saturday in the Western County trial, in the Western County match, he didn't get the results he wanted. He didn't get the performance he wanted, but he done good on the Sunday. But the consistency wasn't there. So that's why I went with Onias. He was consistent over the weekend.
Oh, there you have it. I'm not going to argue. I mean, hey, 2 knocks of 90 beats 1 knock of 100. Wherever you good.
Yeah.
Wherever you good. What are you looking forward to in the match, Eastern County first round, before we go?
So there was Cleveland. I'm looking for a good competitive match. The game played in a good spirit. Spears being Cleveland. The game to be played in a good spirit. Both teams to show some quality cricket. Entertain the crowd that's going to be there, and just be respectful and be mindful of the people around who paid to come watch. You know what I mean? Especially listening audience. Give people their money's worth. That's all I'm asking. Give the people their money's worth. Make it entertaining for the people. And be respectful. Carry yourself like cricketers. Carry yourself like athletes. Be an example for the players coming behind you. That's what I would like to see more of. Yes, and again, just everybody be safe, on the field, and just enjoy it. Enjoy it to the max. Do what you have to do.
Definitely a highly anticipated match. It would have been the last round last year due to the because of the hurricane, and I think both communities were on edge because especially the Cleveland community, they were on form last year, especially at the end of part of the season. But going into even this one, it was, what a time for Bate to have a bye, right? The week before Connie.
Damn lucky buggers. Got a whole chance to rest up players and recuperate. I
don't know if that works for them or works against them, but we will find out because one thing, and I've learned, I've obviously growing up in the Western County, and having a fond love of Eastern County now, being a part of commentating for over 10 years, it's a different beast. And I know these counties, they don't even care what they do in the league. If they win county, all is good.
Yeah.
All
Champagne's popping everywhere.
Baby. All is good, right? All is good. I mean, I've seen guys who couldn't have a lick during the season. But if you win county,
that's
true, you get into the next round, right?
Christmas comes early for this if we Connie, but What?
And
Yeah,
I say
man.
that because some of these guys won't play cup match ever. So
Mm.
Eastern County is their cup match for a lot of these
Yeah,
guys.
that's true. That's true. That's very true. That's true. It's always a good atmosphere at Eastern County. There's no doubt about it, man. It's always a beautiful atmosphere. It's a different energy than cup match, but it's a good atmosphere.
Yes.
And people look forward to it, man. People really look. It's the warm up before cup match. It's like the first run, and cup match is right around the corner.
Well, I
You
tell
know,
somebody
like
on the interview today, I said, look, to be honest with you, this is a trial too.
those that. It's always been.
I'm pretty sure every selector in Somerset and St. George's camp will be looking at the players who are playing this week in County.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, some players, really want to put their name in the hat, and some players who feel that their position could be is in jeopardy will want to would want to do well this weekend to make sure that their name still rings a bell come selection night. So most definitely it is a trial match for some. I would disagree. So
Well,
what is
goodbye.
that?
We have come to the end of this show. I want to thank you once again for being a part of the Island Stats Cricket Show. Shout out to my man Doc Mendes. I knew he had training tonight, so we miss you, Doc. We'll see you. Hopefully, we'll see you next week. And good luck to the teams this week, not only for the Eastern County, but also the next round of matches on Sunday. So, from Ryan Steen and Jason Ford, we wish you guys good night, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, night, everyone.